I'm going to explain how to do very simple burn-in exposures. For instance, when you make a print, printers often just give extra exposures to the edge of the print to confine the print within the centre. If, for instance, we have grade 2 and a 15-second print, we would do the main exposure as per normal, and the whole print will be exposed. And when it gets to the end of that, you might wish to deliberately add, say, a quarter of a stop to each side and reinforce the edges or the base of a print to make it look better. So if I now set the stop size to a quarter of a stop, press the up and down together, it's at a third of a stop at the moment. If I make it a quarter of a stop, store that. What I can now do is increase by a quarter of a stop by pressing the up button once. That has added a quarter of a stop to the print exposure time, and it's now 18 seconds. And instead of pressing the print button quickly, I press it for a long time. And it says the word diff for difference, and when I release it, it will now just print the difference between the main exposure and the burn-in exposure. There was a delay before the print exposure started, and that is so that gives you a chance to pick up a burn-in card and to shade the parts of the print you do not want to expose. And a special symbol showed up on the left-hand side to tell you that it was a burn-in exposure. And you can repeat that. I can press it again and it'll give me another quarter of a stop. Again, there's the special symbol, and then there's the time. Now, the other thing that you can do is you might want to make it a bigger exposure at the bottom. So I can add another quarter of a stop and then do press and hold, and now it'll do a half stop increase. So it's using the base exposure, the main exposure as the baseline, and it's adding exposure to it in the way that you define by these up and down buttons. And that's how to do a very simple burn-in exposure.